Heist is CabooseDOTexe here, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 list for my favorite heists in Payday 2. I figured now that since Payday 3 is going to be coming out here soon, and they've given us the last DLC for Payday 2, now would be the perfect time to talk about my favorite heists for Payday 2, since we don't have to worry about any more heists being added to the game. So these are going to be my personal favorite heists, and it was really difficult narrowing down just 10 of them that I loved. So let me know in the comments what you think are the best heists in Payday 2. Maybe we'll do a tier list, you know, just talk about all the heists. I would love to do that. Let me know if that sounds like a great idea. And if you like this video, leave a like and make sure to subscribe for more Payday 2 content. I'm going to be doing this video a little differently from my other formats. This one I'm just kind of looking at bullet points and, you know, speaking off the top of my head here. Now this is going to be kind of a long video, so let's get started. Now stick with me here and let me explain my number 10, because my number 10 is Cookoff, okay? Cookoff basically is just the best part of rats. It just lets you cook as much meth as you want. Now I like rats, but this is by far the best part. Day 1 is better than day 2 or 3, by far. I'm not going to say Breaking Bad didn't play a part into why I like this level so much, because it definitely did. And if you haven't seen it, you should really check it out. Now you might be asking, well, what about Border Crystal? Well, Border Crystal doesn't have as fun of a design, you know? It's got a lot of snipers, it's got these open areas, not a lot of cover, and it just kind of frustrates me. Cookoff is a building that's being assaulted from all fronts, and it's like a tower defense, you know? You and your friends defending a building while being swarmed, and you gotta cook meth. I think I remember playing that one on Newgrounds back in the day. Those old Flash tower defense games, yeah. Is it weird to think that this level is kind of relaxing? So you see, I have a mod that will have it where it will tell me what the next ingredient is, and I don't have to deal with Bane's dialogue. So what I like to do is I like to put on something to watch on one of my monitors, and then just play this level and just cook meth. You get a bunch of XP, and when you're trying to get to Infamy 100, this is not a bad method to do so. Basically, kind of play this one on autopilot, you know? Next thing you know, 2 hours have gone by and you're able to move on to the next Infamy level. Now, if you think this one was a little weird of a pick, you're gonna think my number 9 is even stranger, okay? So, let me explain. I might get some hate for this one, but I actually really like the Goat Simulator heist. Now, I like the fact that it takes place in kind of like a chunk of a city, you know? You can drive around a lot, and the driving is actually tolerable here because you got room to drive around in. Unlike other maps. The only issue I guess I have with it is that there could be more cover and the snipers can get a bit annoying, but there's not that many of them at least. You kind of want some friends for this one because it can get kind of tedious otherwise. And this one's an issue for me. I often struggle to find that last goat. But for some reason, I keep finding myself drawn to this heist. I have no clue why. Maybe it's because it's silly. It's got this big open space that I'm kind of into. I like the idea that there's a huge chunk of city. I mean, even in the Payday 3 beta, we kind of got that a bit, and I really liked it about that map. I like that some of the goats require you to do special things, like put out a fire, or cut down a street light, or turn off a fan. Day 2 I'm a bit iffy on. The cage kind of sucks because you can't secure the goats, and Vlad really needs to stop letting his brother-in-law fly. But the escape is fun, and even the driving is a lot of fun on this one. The only reason why this one's higher on the list than Cookoff is mainly because it depends on the day. You know what I mean? It's one of those kinds of scenarios. Do I want a heist where I can kind of relax, or do I want something with a little bit more substance, you know? Alright, let's move on to number 8, No Mercy. Now we're starting to get into the media ones here, alright? When it comes to No Mercy, I love the cramped corridors it's got. When you got a sniper with grays or a grenade launcher, and you got a mod that has damage numbers, it's just... oh, it's sublime. Mwah. Oh, so good. I'm not even too big on the LMGs in Payday 2, but I'll bring one for this heist. Now you might be thinking Caboose, but the saw, it takes so long. And to that I say, you're not wrong. It does. It does take a while. But the optional stealth. You can't stealth the whole thing. But if you just bring a silencer on one of your weapons, you can then enter the stealth phase and bypass all the need to saw. Really easy to stealth. This is a really easy heist to get through the stealth because it's from Payday 1. And Payday 1 had not the best stealth mechanics. It was very simple. The only part of this I find really tedious is the blood vials, because it can go by really quickly, or it can take a very long time. I can't tell you how many times I've had it where I'm just like, it's been 10 minutes, and I don't have a single blood vial. But at the very least, I'm having a lot of fun shooting down these hallways, you know? It's the cramped corridors that make me really like this one. I'd compare this heist kind of to the same feel of the Safe House Raid. And I thought about including that one in this one's place, but I thought of this. What if I played both of them? Constantly. Play them a bunch and see which one of them I get tired of first. And that one won't be on the list. Turns out I got tired of the Safe House Raid first, which was a little surprising, and I think it's because there's not much you really do in that heist besides just shoot. At least in here, I push a button every now and then, and there's something to do in between waves, so that's why I went with No Mercy instead. Like I said, this wasn't the easiest list to put together. This isn't something I'm usually good at doing. But moving on, let's get to our number 7, Election Day. Now, right off the bat, this heist has something unique that no other heist has, and I'm really surprised and kind of wish we got to see more of. Depending on how day 1 goes, determines day 2. If you do it correctly, you go to a warehouse. If you do it incorrectly, you go to a bank. Now, the real crime in this game is that we never got a standalone for that bank heist. We got a standalone for Art Gallery and a standalone for cooking meth, but not this bank. We never see it again outside of day 2 of Election Day if you do day 1 incorrectly. What's nice is you can do it either stealth or loud, and if you choose to do it stealth, you got the shipping containers to jump around on. If you go loud, you have a lot of cover and a lot of mobility. It's really nice. It's just a really great level design. Sadly, I don't get to play the bank as much because I keep successfully doing day 1, so most of what I know is actually from day 2 at the warehouse for when you do it correctly. And when it comes to that, it's a lot of fun. I do it stealth every time. Like, I don't usually like to do stealth a crazy amount, but this one I feel compelled to do it. For a few reasons. One, it's easy to take out the cameras. Second, the gold you get at the end for successfully stealthing the whole thing is a lot. It's well worth doing it. It's not going to take you that much longer than doing it loud. However, going loud on it is still pretty fun. I mean, it's a warehouse, you know, you got a lot of cover. It's a classic holdout setting. You know? I also like that you don't actually have to get any loot in this level. You're here to rig an election, and that's it. You're not here to steal anything. It's kind of different for the Payday gang, right? Just gonna expand that crime, you know, so when you get arrested, it's gonna be way worse for you. Speaking of making things way worse for you, number 6 is Beneath the Mountain. This is one of those cases where I really can't tell you why I love it so much. I'm just kind of drawn to it. I don't like sentries and I don't like snipers, so why would I have a map that is basically guaranteed to deal with both of those? I have no clue, but it could be because it's a really good map to test out a build, right? It's got outdoors, indoors, open areas, small cramped areas, long distance, short distance. It's got it all, baby. If you need to work on a build, you got everything you need right here. It just feels kind of like a solid map all around, you know? At the end of the heist, there's a bunch of snipers and, well, if you kind of want to deal with them, you can get some extra loot, like gold. So it's kind of rewarding. I like that all the loot that you have to steal in order to complete the heists are all different. You have a painting, an artifact, a weapon, and a server. All have different weights and everything, so it's unique in that sense that there are a bunch of different things that we need to collect in order to complete the heist. And the actual real valuable stuff, like the gold, is completely optional. On top of that, I kind of like how you gotta look through the cameras to figure out which rooms to open. You open the wrong one, well, now you're stuck waiting until that one's done so you can open up the next one. When you explain it, it feels really simple, but when you're playing it, it's simple, but complicated, but in a good way, you know? It's a solid level all around. And with that, we are now entering the top 5, all right? So let's get to it, all right? Number 5, we have Raid Shadow Legends. Just kidding. Shadow Raid. It's Shadow Raid. Can you blame a guy for trying to make a bad joke? Please don't. I'm French. Don't hurt me. You see, when I think stealth, I think Shadow Raid. I know it's not the only stealthable heist, but it's my favorite because I think it's the best one. I mean, Yacht isn't bad. Murky Station ain't bad. Breaking Fence can be annoying. And we'll get to Car Shop. Oh, don't you worry, Car Shop. I got things I gotta say about you. But you see, there's no other heist like it, alright? The only goal of Shadow Raid is to sneak into a building, steal as much loot as you can, and leave without getting caught. We're not there to steal a bomb, or warheads, or a specific weapon, or a prototype, a server, a painting, anything specific. We're just there to steal anything we can. It's a really freeing heist. You're not held down by a specific objective. You can go about it however you want. You can say, you know what, this time I don't even want to bother with any artifacts. Or I'm not even going to bother with the main building. I'm just going to try outside. Or I'm not even going to bother going outside. I'm just going to go through the sewer into the main building. If it's outside, I don't care. It's easy to take down the cameras and then just have fun. I would have loved to have more heists like Shadow Raid. Think of the bomb heists for the Butcher. I know that's a hard thing to do, but just think about those for a second. They're the same objective, steal a bomb, but in two completely different locations. I would have loved the exact same thing, but for Shadow Raid. Now, if you've stuck with me so far, I feel like you might have a problem with this one, okay? Only because it's low on the list and where you might think it should be. Number 4 is the Big Bank. To me, the Big Bank is like the First World Bank 2.0. It feels like the logical step up from the main heist of Payday 1. Not gonna lie, it's a little strange not having the secret be in a bank like the first one, but hey, you know, White House is good too. But I remember when this heist came out, I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be the one that's gonna have the overdrill. Oh yeah, it doesn't, but you know, it's still a great heist. There's so much to love here. You got the big vault, you got the big payout, a big pig, great shootout areas, a fun escape through a bus that's crashed through your wall and connects you to the building next door, and best of all, not that many snipers, surprisingly. I mean, yeah, they're there. There's like 3 or 4 locations, but they're not terrible. They're easy to deal with. When I think of a solid bank heist, I think the Benevolent Bank. See, there are a lot of great banks in Payday, but in my opinion, this is the best. Defending the vault as your friend saws through everything feels so good. The bags don't have to go that far either if you're using like the bus crashing through the wall. And if you have a full team that knows what to do, you can get so much done at once. You can have 2 people dealing with the computers, you can go after the pig, the other person can open the door on the roof and help keep the snipers off you. It's a great heist to have teamwork, even without really communicating. Everybody knows what to do and will work together without talking much. At least that's how it's been in my experience. It's an iconic map, and that's not why it's on this list. I genuinely love this heist. I love the stealth for it is also just crazy. If you haven't done it, you use a person's finger to open the vault, like a severed finger. How cool is that? There's not much more I can say about it that hasn't been said by somebody else. It's a fantastic heist. And now we have entered the end game. All right, the top 3 heists in Payday 2 that I love. Number 3 is the Crude Awakening, and not because it's the last heist added to Payday 2. It's got a fantastic setting set on an oil rig where you're there to steal some crude oil. Once you find out where that stuff is stored, then you gotta line up a bunch of pipes and pump it out of there. It's one of my favorite puzzles in the game. Once that's done getting pumped out, then you have to fight one of the 2 only good boss fights in the game. This and Mountain Master are like the only 2 that are actually worth anything. This time around, you have to light them on fire. If you didn't bring a flamethrower, well, there's some crude oil that you can just pump out, ignite, and then set him on fire. And once he's on fire, then you can hurt him. Only then can you hurt him, like a legitimate boss battle. Once you finish him off, then you gotta set the rig to explode and get out of there before it goes up in flames. And then you get to watch it explode. It's such a great send-off to Payday 2. Oh, man. Whew. I love it so much. But, you know, I'm not sure if I love it more or about the same as this next one. Alright? Number 2, Midland Ranch. I played through this level twice while I was making this script, alright? I knew it was going to be up there, but I had to play through it again just so I could figure out why I like it so much. And the only thing I could figure out was that it's very similar to Cookoff. You are gathering ingredients to make something. In this case, it's guns instead of meth. My friend Nick actually helped me come to this realization. They told me this and I was like, oh my god, you're right. And then you get to use the golf carts to deliver the guns to the boat. And surprisingly, they're not terrible to drive. I mean, the physics are a little wonky, but I actually enjoy driving the golf cart around. Playing this heist with some people, sometimes I'll just find myself driving around and running over people. It's a genuinely fun heist to play, and that's all I can really say about it. I'm kind of at a loss for how to describe it. Maybe I put this too high on the list. Maybe I did. I couldn't tell you. It just feels right in second place to me. I'll finish playing it and then I'll just start up another one because I just enjoy it. I kind of want like a Cookoff style level for the Midland Ranch. I mean, the first part of the heist is okay when you're, hacking in to get the stuff on the laptop, but the real part that just kind of shines is that gun building area. I don't know why. If you have an idea as to why, maybe let me know. Please help me. Help me. I sat here like for a good hour just trying to figure out why I like it so much, and I can't tell you. However, I can explain why I love Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami is number one on my list of favorite heists in Payday 2. Alright, there's so much I can say about this heist, alright? It was the heist that made me realize just how good Payday 2's soundtrack can be. Both Evil Eye and Hot Pursuit are just amazing pieces of music, and they helped me realize why the Payday 2 soundtrack is just so good. Evil Eye perfectly encapsulates what it's like to put Hotline Miami's soundtrack into Payday 2. Hot Pursuit gives you that rush you need to get through that abandoned building so that we can stop the commissar from dumping all his coke. The whole reason you're doing what you're doing is so that we can kill the commissar, so that way you can help break Hoxton out of prison. On day one, you spend the entire time pissing off the commissar by killing his men, torching his cars, and blowing up his gas station. Remember, pro tip, search the trunks of the cars before you burn them, because there's sometimes loot in there. And you can also cook meth. We've come full circle. Are there snipers? Sure, but I sure as hell don't care. They made a level that's so good, nothing annoys me about it. In fact, the attack helicopter from day 2 can show up on day 1. It doesn't happen very often, but whenever it does, it's just like, what are you doing here? And day 2, oh boy, day 2. All right, so you get to run through the building, and let me tell you, it's one of the few times where I'm like, I want to bring us off. I want to bring us off, because when you're waiting behind that gate for that drill to finish, and you just know the commissar is on the other end dumping out a bag of coke, and you're just like, it's great, it's fantastic. And then there's sometimes the dude with the bomb strapped to him with some money, and you gotta save him so that way you can get the money and make sure no one shoots him, otherwise it's gonna blow up in your face and you're gonna lose the money. It's so good. And then you get to the top, and hopefully you have enough bags of coke, but for some reason all your teammates keep bagging up the coke and throwing it up on a shelf, when instead they could just leave it there and no one has to touch it at all. It's great. It's fantastic. I mean, is the commissar boss fight good? No, it's not. It's probably my only one flaw for the entire heist. And I'm not even gonna say it's because, oh, it's the first one, it's okay, it gets a pass, then they can retroactively go back and patch it or something. But you know what? I don't even care. Everything else about it is so good that I just don't care. It's awesome. The snipers on day 2, easy to take care of. When you do day 2, bring Viper grenades. You're gonna just be like, it's simple. Why so many? Why you coughing? Why you puke all over the nice floor on this man's roof? And when the drill breaks down, it's usually because it got blown up or got kicked, and so it actually makes freaking sense. Although I will tell you from personal experience, it does make sense why the drill bits break so often. I'm so excited talking about this heist. I've been breathing all over this thing and making weird mouth noises. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just a fantastic heist. I love it so much. And that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys have enjoyed my very first top 10 list. I want to know what your favorite heists are. What do you think of my list? What you like about it? What you don't like about it? What things you want me to think I should change when it comes to the video making process here? I would love to know. I want to hear your thoughts. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified for future Payday content. I'm going to be making a lot of stuff for Payday 3. I just know it. I can just feel it in me bones. But until then, I've been CabooseDOTexe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hello.